Hi guys, this is Praveen, and further to continuation of the next video, I'm going to work with what exactly you have to work with your CRUD application. So last session we have gone through the registration form and inserted the values, and these values were going into the database respectively with the ID number 1, 2, 3, and this IDs would generate somewhere around, if you can see the structure, the IDs that it can hold is up to 65,535, which is smaller. So I'm going to be on browse. Currently we have 3 details or 3 records. So let's to refresh our previous work, I'm going to add one last user so that we have the previous session of the IDs. So I'm going to add one more person. Let's say I'm going to add Kiran, and we are going to add Kiran at gmail.com, and let me have this guy's date of birth. He's going to be on 1979, and I'm going to put down his month, and date is on 13, and his password, and his mail, and he's going to have English and Telugu, and he's going to be from India, and I'm going to put down PO box, some address where you can put your own address, and I'm going to put down something like habits, and it's going to be from Hyderabad, and I'm going to have one photo of him, and I think I haven't used this guy, so I'm going to add this. I'm not sure what photos I have used, so if you can go to images, users, yeah, I've already used this guy. Let me add one more photo which is a different photo. So I'm going to browse it, and I'm going to add this guy, Rasmus, and start registering. So as soon as the values are getting inserted, so you can see my code. This is going to be here, rich form, and this rich form is trying to push me to add users.php. So once again I want to open the form, so rich form, and this is trying to push me in add users.php. So when I go here, I've got this details. So all the values are carried in a variable, and these variables are being inserted, and once if this thing's getting success, the query is going to show users. So this is your show users. So if the values have successfully inserted, this is a content I'm going to see. So I'm going to register. So it's saying you're in show users. Wow, values got inserted. Now you can browse it or refresh the PHP admin tool, and you will see my 4th person is Kiran with Kiran at gmail.com. His date of birth, his current password is being added as a mail, and he knows English, Telugu, is from India, post box, and we have his photo carried away, and his registered on and is inactive. So these are the details we have got, and you can still insert somewhere around 65,535. So the details are registered, but I want to see who has registered and all those things, not in a tool but in a respective PHP pages. So when values are getting inserted, the values are coming into show users.php. So I'm going to change this page. So can you just guess where this page is? It's in here, show users. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the rich form.php page. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to copy entire page, and I'm going to go inside show users.php. okay, so the one which is telling this, I'm going to paste the entire thing in this page, which is rich form.php. so you can see what I have done. Now if you can open this page and refresh this page, it would also carry the registration form, because I have added the code of registration form inside show users. But now I have the form, I have to design so that I can show the users. So I'm going to create this table designs once again. So if you can be sure you're on show users, okay, you're on show users, okay. So I have the form, which I'm not going to work with the form, so I'm removing the form tag. This is my table, this is my tr, which is going to be this one, new user, please register. Instead of this, I'm going to say list of users registered, list of users registered. So you can see that the title has been changed to list of user registered. So I'm going to remove from here to here, so you can see what I'm removing. Let the email be there, enter name be there. I'm going to remove all of these details. So this is TR, which is enter email. So I'm blinking here and I'm going to go all the way till images, so you can see where images are. I'm going to be here till images, removing this. Now you can see the design has changed like this. Enter name. So I'm going to change this title, so you can see that what I'm writing. I'm going to put down here as, let's say, what am I going to write is user registered name. That's what I'm showing. And the next TD, which is supposed to be holding this data, I'm going to put down edit user, and I'm going to create one more TD and say delete user. So I'm going to write here delete user. So let's see what the page is looking like. So I've got user registered name, edit user, delete user. So we have already gone with this one, and we have call span as 2, which is this. Now I'm going to make this as call span as 3, so that it will take 3 columns as a single column, because we have 3 columns here. So refresh, I've got this one. Next I'm going to convert this also to 3 columns, that is here, and I'm going to make it 3 columns. Okay, now I'm going to say this as add user or something. So I'm not going to use reset button, so I'm removing it, and I'm going to use one more button calls. Type is equal to button, and I'm going to say this as name is add, and value I'm going to use is add new user. So you can see that we have add new user. So this is the details we have. So first of all, let's fetch all the names which are here. Name Rajesh, Kavita, Amit Reddy and Kiran should come here in the inside user register. So what I will do is I'm going to be on top of the PHP, so top of the code, and run this, and I'm going to first go with the query $SQL is equal to select. I want all fields, so I'm going to put down select star from users. So this is my table name, select star from users. But the problem is users is in a database called Crud. So first you need to connect with the database. So how do you connect with the databases? You have to use include underscore once. I'm going to use connect.php. So as soon as I connect, I'm going to select the users. So once I select, I'm going to run the query. $res is equal to MySQL underscore query of $SQL. So you can see that I'm running a query. Okay, as soon as I'm going to run this query, I'm going to fetch the records from database. So I'm going to write $re, just a second here. So I'm going to go with record let MySQL underscore fetch underscore rows. So it's a predefined function which will fetch the records in the form of numbered array. So this is a predefined function which will fetch the records in the form of numbered array. So I'm going to use res. Now the entire details is kept in a record. So I'm going to use print underscore r of $rec. Now you can see what am I trying to print. So it's been already printed on top of HTML page. So I can say this is on top of the HTML page, and refresh this page. You can see this guy, but it's probably not so clear. So I'm going to use echo. I'm going to use a pre-tag and echo pre-tag got close. Now you can see, as I told you, this record is going to be giving in the form of numbered arrays. So you can see when you fetch the records, MySQL underscore fetch underscore row of $res, this is used to normally fetch the records in the form of numbered array. So what is numbered arrays? All your fields will convert to a number. 0. In 0 we have ID number 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 respectively. The fields will be converted as a number. But one more thing you have to observe is it's just pulling only one record, it's not pulling Kavita's record, see. But anyhow, this is printed all the form in the form of array. If you fetch the records in the form of SOs, a predefined function which will fetch the records in the form of associative array, which means maintaining relation between keys and values. Is this Rajesh key is name? So that's what I'm saying. It's going to fetch the field name also. SOs will fetch the field names, which is going to maintain relation to Rajesh as a name, raj@gmail.com as an email. So this is SOs. But if you fetch the things in array, this will fetch in the form of both numbered as well as associative array. So when I refresh this page, you can see this is ID number 1. To the respective key, it's 0 key. But again, it's 0 key name is associative is ID. So you can see that ID is ID. Next name, again it is fetching in the form of both. Rajesh as a number, it is 1. Rajesh as an associative, it is a name. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3. This is all numbered array, and as well as it will fetch the same details 1, 1 in the form of associative. So array is nothing but it will fetch the details in the form of both. Currently I'm going to fetch this in the form of row, means I'm fetching the records in the form of numbered array. And things to observe is this are getting only printed the first row, not the second ni the third. So I have to actually loop the records so that it can print all the records. And this I'm going to do on, I'm just going to block this just for a knowledge sake. I have printed this, so I'm going to comment this in multiple lines of comment that can be done through / star, and I'm going to block it here by claiming star / okay. So now I have to print those details here, user register name. So where exactly is this one? This is here. So I'm going to start my server. The records is already ready with fetching in the form of numbered array. So I'm going to start my server here after this tr. So server got started, and I'm going to close the server here and write some td, say hello td tr, and I hope you are seeing this here. So I've got my first hello, because the top we have 3 columns, but I have just used only 1 column as my second tr. Okay, now what I will do is I'm going to loop this while $rec of rec is equal to MySQL underscore fetch underscore row. As I told you, I'm going to fetch the records in the form of associative res. Result is, see guys, I'm going to comment this line because I'm fetching that. So you can see this line is being written here in the form of while loop. So MySQL underscore fetch underscore row of $res. Now who is res? res1 is the one which is running the query, and this is running star. So now you can see that I'm going to loop this with the constructor called open and close, and this echo will loop something like, when I refresh this page, you can see I have got like 4 hellos. The reason we have 4 hellos is, in spite of writing 1 time, it is fetching 4 hellos. Reason is simple. We have actually 4 records. That's why it's looping 4 times. Okay, if you have got like millions of records, it would have looped millions of times. But I don't need hello. I need actually the name of the employees. Names are, and moreover, this is fetching in the form of numbered array. So you should understand this is 0, this is 1. And this 1 is a numbered array which will fetch all the values within the 1 record. So I'm going to go and call this here as, I'm going to join a concatenation. Okay, and I'm going to say $rec. $rec is an array which is holding numbered array. So I'm going to say, what is the record number? 0, 1. So I'm going to call array as 1. So this will fetch all the names and loop it inside the TDs. So you can see we have Rajesh, Kavita, Amit Reddy, Kiran. Can't you see that? Rajesh, Kavita, Amit Reddy, Kiran. Those are coming here. Now I want this to be viewable. The reason is I want to see who is Rajesh, when he born. Is he gender male or female? Kavita, when is she is born, and what is her date of birth, what kind of photo she is holding, okay, what is her address, I want to know all these details. So I'll try to give a chance or try to give a probability of click this. So how do I click this? I need to use an anchor tag. So I'm going to use an anchor tag. So you can see this is what you are able to see as a visibility. So the visibility I'm going to go is use an anchor tag, a tag open, a tag close, and this is what you have written is visibility. If you're not sure, just go with href. Href is equal to, I'm going to keep this hash, okay, and you can see that this href is staying on hash and visibility is this. Are you able to see that this is now turning as a clickable? Yes, but the problem is when I click on this, it's just showing hash. It's just don't do anything. But I want when you click, it should show the details, the complete details of Rajesh, and when I click on Kavita, it should show complete details of Kavita. So I have to write some URL so that it should be knowing who is Kavita and Amit. So what I'll do is I'm going to remove this hash. Instead of this, see there is rule double, we already have it, and double inside double is not allowed, so I'm using single quotes. Okay, in this single quote, what am I going to write is I'm going to add one more double inside this and just going to go with, first of all I'm going to write this page has to go to view profile profile.php. Now you can see that this page is now having its own link, view profile.php. So please try to see here, please try to see here. I'm just going to insist you have to see here at any cost. Okay, so please see here at the bottom. So look at my mouse, it is at left bottom. I'm asking you to see here. So when I click when I keep my mouse over, it's just saying at the bottom view profile. See, but whose profile you need to view? Is it that you have to view whose profile, Rajesh or Kavita? When I click Kavita, it should show Kavita's profile, and when I click Amit, it should show Amit details. So I have to add some information on that URL. So I'm going to go to the URL. So the URLs can be joined with additional information by using question mark. I'm going to place ID is equal to, now we have already single quote inside double is allowed, so I'm going to join $record. I have to maintain the uniqueness of this ID number, and I'm going to go with record. These are the IDs 1 2 3 4. So I'm going to place this, and this is already fetching in the form of rows, so IDs will be at 0. Okay, so I'm going to add this as 0. So rec of 0, rec is a numbered array which is calling 0, and I think 0 is IDs. So this is one which you have. So you can see this is view profile.php question mark ID is equal to 0. Let's see what happened. So I'm again requesting you to see at the left bottom. Okay, when I keep my mouse over, this is showing view profile.php question mark ID is equal to 1. Again it is saying view profile.php ID is equal to 2. So as soon as I keep my URL on a different links, the IDs are generating differently. So if I click Kiran, now you can see that the URL it is going is view profile.php ID is equal to 4. All I will do is select the ID number and call its details. So if ID number 4 is there, I'm going to ask all its details, it will fetch that. So anyhow, we haven't created this page called view profile. I'll create it later. So I've got all the IDs on a respective pages. Next I want to click edit user. So I think this is my second TD. The first TD is already created till here. The second TD I'm going to say is edit, and this TD got closed, and this is already in looping. So we have 4 records, so you will see 4 times edit. So when I refresh this, I've got edit. Now I want this to be a clickable, so all I'm going to use is I'm going to use the same a tag till here. Okay, same a tag, and paste it here, and I'm going to close this edit in between the a tag. So you can see this time we are editing, so I'm going to go with, in spite of doing this view profile, I'm going to go with edit profile. Now you can see that this is also clickable. When I click on it, it is going with edit profile. You can see that in URL. See, it's edit profile.php ID is equal to 1. Okay, now when I go and click this one as a second link, you can see that it is also same URL, edit profile.php, id is equal to 2. In spite of we didn't created these pages, I'll create it later. So I've got like ID numbers respectively, but I don't like this edit, so I'm going to go with some photos. So I'll go to Google, okay, and search some photos which will be better suitable. So I'm going to go with edit. I've got my images. Any photo you like, you can use it. In this cases, I'm going to use one of the favorite photos which could be editable. So probably I'm going to go with any of the photo you want. So okay, I'm going to go with a simple one, which I would like to take this as, probably I might be taking this one. Okay, so I'm going to go view image and save image. Just think where exactly is your path. So I'm going to go with something in my desktop, and in desktop we have htdocs file, okay, and in that we have crud, which is this one. In crud we have images. In images users, we have this users. No, this is not a user, this is an edit icon. So I'm going to go create in images, I'm going to create one more folder called icons. Okay, in icons I'm going to save this as edit. So I've got saved this. Next I'm going to add delete one. So delete image, any of the delete images which you like. So let's see which one I can like it. Okay, I like this one, so I'm going to go with view image, save image. The path is already set. We have edit icon, and I'm going to spell this as delete dot whatever is the extension, it will save it. The last one is I'm going to add is no pic, and I hope I've got a lot of no picture photos, but which one is better for you, it is you who have to understand. So I'm going to probably go with no picture. So probably I might be taking this one. So I'm going to say, oh, this one is better, no picture, it's already decorated. So I'm going to say view image, and I'm going to say this as save image, and here I'm going to say no pic. Okay, so you can go to my area like htdocs crud. In that images we have something called icons, and we have edit, delete, no pic. If I go to edit, this is a JPG file to 225 into 225 width and height. This is also 102 into 102 width and height with JPG extension. So what I'm going to write here is the visibility is edit, and can you just guess where is visibility? Is this the visibility? Instead of adding visibility, I'm going to add img source is equal to, currently where exactly is your path. You are writing the code in show users. Where is show users? It is in here. You are in show users. Where are the images? In images folder. So I'm going to write here source is equal to img icons edit.jpg. So if I refresh this page, I've got the image, but the problem is the image is too big. So I'm going to change this image width is equal to, I'm going to make it something around 60 pixel, and let's see, width and height both will be decreased. So refresh, but it's too big, so I'm going to go with finalizing this to 22. Now you can see that this photo has been with 22 pixel, but I'm still not convinced. I'm going to make it 30 pixel. Fine. So I've got like edit. When I click on this edit, I will be on edit profile.php with id 1. When I click on this, I'll be on edit profile.php, id is equal to 2. So is the case, I'm going to go with delete icon. So this is my third TD, and this TD has started, it's all the way from copy here, TD open, TD close. I'm going to copy this and paste it here again, but this time I'm going to go with delete. delete profile.php with id is equal to some respective number, image source is equal to, the icon I'm going to show is delete.jpg with the width of 30 pixel. So let's see whether we have the same thing like here. Yeah, I've got like delete. When I click on this, I'm in delete profile.php with id is equal to 1. When I click on this, I'm in delete profile.php with id is equal to 2. That's something very good. So I've got all the details, and I would say this as CRUD. We have already created C as CRUD. Abbreviation of CRUD is C as create. So I've already created, and R as read. We are able to read the values, and let's try to add one more detail. So this is a button, add user. Where is this button? I could see that this button is here. I'm going to give a name of ID or class. Class is equal to, I'm going to say XYZ. That's my class name. I think I'm already speaking with CSS, and this is in CSS style.css. So where is the CSS page? CSS style.css. Okay, a class name is .xyz. Okay, I'm going to say XYZ as font family Arial black. Okay, and I'm going to say background black, and I'm going to say color white, and I'm going to put down padding something around 5 pixel and 20 pixel. So you can see that here now. Fine, I've got this one, and I'm going to go with something like font size. I'm going to go with 24 pixel. Now you can see that when I refresh, I've got like 24 pixel, and I want this to be a hand, so I'm going to put down cursor is equal to pointer. When I keep this as a pointer, it will be giving you a hand. So yes, you can see that whenever I keep my mouse, it has as if we have to click. So when I click, the button does nothing. So all I need to do is to activate the button. So I'll go to the button. So where exactly is the button? The button is here. I'm sorry, here. This is a button. So I'm going to go here and say on click. On click is equal to go to. How do you redirect from one page to another pages? In JavaScript, you can use location. Location.href is equal to, I'm going to go with something like location.href is equal to, I'm going to go with rich form.php, and that's all. So I've got my link. So href rich form.php. So actually what is happening is you are in show users, and when you click on this button, it will go to rich form.php, and you will be having a new register. So let's try to refresh. Okay, so let's refresh one more time. Now click on add new user. You're in rich form. Let's try to add one more details. I'm going to add dimple, and I'm going to say dimple at yahoo.com. and I'm going to say put down something like date of birth. I'm going to add something called, let's say I'm going to put down here, one second. So her date of birth is something like, I'm going to go with 1992, and I'm going to say 03, and this is 22, and I'm going to put down her password. So I've got like she's a female and she's English and Hindi, and I'm going to put down something like United States, and I'm going to put down PO Box something like this number, and she's from US, so I'm going to write as US, and she's not adding the photo. So this is one thing we have to understand, she's not adding the photo, and she's clicking on submit. As soon as she submit, I do see that there is a dimple, and we have a record on this page. So all the user detail names are being fetched in the form of looping. You can see that code here. We have show users. I'm being looping the records, and this record is trying to show this one as a numbered array, and when you click on dimple it will jump to viewprofile.php, and you should know that dimple's ID, when I refresh this page, you'll be able to see dimple is in 5th ID, and that's what it is showing, that it is viewprofile.php ID is equal to 5. So now that we have able to know how to fetch the values in a form of single element like only name, but I'm just a bit interested about when did Rajesh born, or what is the date of birth of Rajesh, and Kavita, where is she address located at. So I have to view the complete profile of these details. So I'm going to do this on the next video, because we have already gone through half of the journeys. Already the URLs are working. Viewprofile.php ID is equal to 5. So when I click on edit profile, you have been in edit profile.php. You can see that here, edit profile.php ID is equal to 5. And when you click on delete profile, the URL is insisting on delete profile.php ID is equal to 5. Okay, so everything is up and running. When you want to add a new user, you can add. When you want to see the profile, we are just viewing, and if the view has been got some problems, we can edit the profile, and if we no longer want to visit the details, I can delete the profile. So you can see the registration form has got dimple, and this dimple has got picture. Dimple didn't added any pictures, so picture is empty at this point of time, and you can see that we have currently icons are this, and we have users, only 4 photos. In spite of we have dimple, we don't have no photo of her. So this is how I added my details, and currently we are on this level of reading the profile. So next session of the video, I'm going to show how to fetch their date of birth, how to fetch their details, complete details, and all those things. So that way we'll work on the next session of the video, and I hope you're enjoying the classes, and thanks for once again watching the video. Okay guys, I'll get in touch with you on the next video. This is Praveen signing out. Bye bye.